everybody, welcome back to House of a Warrior. My name is Lorraine Adoyo. Gosh, I sound like I am about to read the evening news or something, right? Anyway, thank you so much for coming back, you people. I am so grateful. I am so happy. We did our introductory video rather just 2 days ago, and I asked for 10 subscribers, and you guys, you know, you did that, and I'm so happy. So thank you so much. But today, as you can tell from the title, I want to talk to you about circumcision. Oh my God, yeah, circumcision. So you all know that I have a little boy who's 5, and he got the big cut somewhere towards the end of April. And that is what I'm here to talk to you about, so that if you have little boys and you haven't yet, you have an idea of what to expect and what to do and even who to see. So I'm going to start with that actually. We decided to go with Professor Kiambi. Professor Kiambi is a pediatric surgeon, and I actually got to know about Professor Kiambi when I was delivering Imari back in 2015, because I had Imari at 6.5 months. He was a premature little boy, and so he had to stay in the incubator, and they had to like always put IVs to give them fluids. He had that little pipe thing that went down to his stomach that gave him food, and when they ran out of veins on his little hands, they had to put one in his leg, and so that one caused a lot of trouble, and it swelled, and it became such a big issue. Like, Imari even got better, and we were about to be released to go home, but we couldn't go because his leg had been messed up by an injection. I think the nurse put it badly, or just he moved and something happened, and so it was like this big, like it was really swollen, and he had to be taken for surgery, right? So the doctor that came was Professor Kiambi. Yeah, and to this day, Imari still has that mark. I look at that mark and I'm like, wow, wow. Like, his leg is totally fine, he walks totally fine, like everything is normal, but I just look at that mark and I'm like, man, my kid really went through it. He really did go through it at a really young age, and he survived. And so, it's the little things like those that I look at and I'm just like how even, like who is God, you people? Who is God? But anyway, we went with Professor Kiambi, and he is an amazing doctor. He is good with kids. And he is an old gentleman that just has a young soul, that he sees kids, and like, you can go there with your kid when they're like sick and they're like dying and throwing up everywhere, and before he even touches them or even prescribes anything, your kid is just happy, and they're playing and they're jovial and they're up and down, and this man is just God sent. Like, he was just called to deal with kids. I kid you not. Like, look for him if you have a child who's sick or who needs special attention. The thing is, he's a surgeon though, but I guess he had to be a doctor before he became a surgeon. Anyway, so we did our circumcision at Nairobi Hospital with Dr. Kiambi. And for those who do not know what I'm talking about here, circumcision is the removal of the foreskin from the penis, okay? This normally has a lot of pros to it. You can choose to live with your foreskin if you want, but you will have a lot of problems in future, I guess. I do not have a penis. I'm just telling you what the doctor told us and what I think every boy or every man should do with their penis. Hey, so let me tell you about the benefits of having the big cat. First and foremost is that it lowers the risk of sexually transmitted diseases. Secondly, is that it protects against penile cancer. Third, is that it lowers the risk of cervical cancer in female partners. Okay? Fourth is that it will prevent balanitis. Balanitis is basically just inflammation of the foreskin, which from what I hear, is very painful, right? So I think those are good enough reasons for anyone to want to have the big cat if you haven't already. But there are also don'ts, like not don'ts, but they're like, what is the opposite of pros? Cons. Yeah, cons. There are cons to it as well, like there could be excessive bleeding, which is manageable, the pain, which is also something that you have to go through. No pain, no gain, and stuff like that, like the downtime, the 1 week that you have to stay home and just sit, eat and relax and recover. Those are the cons, but those are manageable ones. The pros, you're taking care of like your whole adult future, like you're taking care of your wife, you're preventing them from getting cervical cancer. So you see, like, you weigh and let me know. I think you should do it regardless, right? So okay, secondly is I want to talk about what happens during the procedure. First of all is that you will check in. Our check-in time was 8 in the morning. Our procedure was scheduled for 12 p.m. Yeah, so you will check in. There will be nurses in and out taking vitals and stuff. And then when it is almost time, they will come and put an IV, like they put for Imari an IV and some fluids to start running. And then they came in and asked standard questions, and then they make sure you haven't eaten. They said not to eat after 8 because his surgery was scheduled for 12 p.m. So they said the last meal he should eat is breakfast, which he should have before 8 in the morning. And we were like, okay, cool. And then now they make sure he has peed before they actually wheel him into the procedure room. And in the procedure room, they clean the penis and then they pull the foreskin to where it's supposed to be cut, and then they put a ring on it just to know what ends and what starts. I guess, I'm not sure, but that is basically like what they do. I just don't know if that is the reason. What I've just said, I don't know if that is the reason, but yeah, they really do put a ring on it. Yeah, and then they numb. They will either numb with a cream if it is someone 18 years and above, but if it is a younger person, like in Imari's case, they used an anesthesia. First of all, yes, they numb the area, but also they put him out with an anesthesia because the reason they gave is that for kids, even if they numb the area and they're not in pain or whatever, they're still kids. They will see all these people in the room, they will see all these instruments, they will want to know what is going on, and there will probably be some movement. And this is one surgery that they need to be precise, like precision is key. So they need absolute stillness during the procedure. So for kids, they will give anesthesia just to take them out, right? But not a strong one. It is never a strong one because the surgery lasted close to an hour, and by the time they were wheeling him out, the boy was awake. Yeah, so they said it wasn't a strong anesthesia. It's just enough to keep them asleep for just as long as they needed. Yeah. And then after they do the cut, they wrap the penis in gauze. I can't even say it's gauze. You know, like when you break your arm and then that thing, the cast, in something like that. In something like a cast, they wrap. It's not that heavy or that thick, but it's the closest I can think of to explain this. In something like a cast, they wrap it in that, all of it except the top of it where they used to pee, where pee comes out from. So I think the reason is to keep it from dangling and touching maybe his other body parts, and in that case it will be, you know, transmitting the germs from the rest of the body to the sensitive area. So that is why they do that, I guess. And then they come back home. After they make sure he's okay, they come back home with that cast for the night. Okay, so for the night they come back home, but then they go back tomorrow morning for follow-up. Follow-up for the big cat is the immediate day, the immediate exact next day. I don't know what I've just said, but it is the next day. Yeah, so they went and they cut that cast off, and they gave us medication, antibiotics, creams, powders, everything that is supposed to be put there. And they told us that when he comes back home, he needs to take a shower. Do not scrub the area, but he needs to take a shower. Let water run down through the penis as you wash him, but do not scrub the penis. And then apply all this medication and stuff. And that was the end of it. So for all that, for the whole day and the following day checkup, everything came up to 64,000 Kenya shillings. And this was Nairobi Hospital. So definitely, I'm sure there are cheaper doctors and cheaper hospitals, or even more expensive, if you know you can afford that. Better, I don't know about better. I just know that, you know, do what you can, do what works for you, but do it, especially do it young. I'm back with the man of the hour. It is after school. He's just back from school. He has had his snack, he has had his shower, and he is now, you know, eating again, but he's here. So hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Martin.
Mary. How old are you?
5.
5. So do you know what we are talking about today? What? Yeah, that's right. That's what we are talking about. We are talking about the day you got your big cat. Okay?
My big cat?
Yeah. Do you remember anything about that day?
Yeah, it was super awesome.
It was super awesome. You like that you did it?
Yeah.
You're happy about it?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be a man now?
It is great.
It is great?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So that's all I wanted you guys to hear from the horse's mouth, that it is great to be a man, right?
Yes, Pastor, but
What?
from the doctors cutting me.
The doctors were carrying you on that day?
Yeah.
Because you were the man of the hour, like I just said. But anyway, I am
And
back. Okay, let me tell them, and then you will tell them also, okay?
Okay.
So I wanted to talk to you guys about the
All by
aftercare.
myself.
Yeah.
Without you. Okay.
I wanted to come back and talk to you about the aftercare. The aftercare, which is also it's I think the most important part of all this process. Like, take care of your son after that. Like, be patient with them, you know. The first day and the first 2 days, like, be extremely patient and tender to their needs. And you know, if you have to carry him to the bathroom, okay, if he's this young, yeah, if you have to carry him, because we carried him to the bathroom, we didn't want the lasso touching him or him having a chance to hurt himself. And it was all worth it. The recovery went by so fast. As much as he was so dramatic about it, it went by fast, yeah, because we were very patient. We were always there whenever he needed anything. Feed them on a lot of fluids, give them a lot of fluids, a lot of water-based drinks, give them, you know, a balanced diet in general, but feed them on white meat. White meat has some, I don't know what it is about meat, but I asked my mother-in-law when he left the hospital. I asked her, I was like, so what do I feed this boy? Like, how do I speed up the recovery? And she was like, get fish, get lots of fish, lots of chicken, like do what you can, but those two, those are medication. And she was right. So that's all we have for you today. Please subscribe, please share, please like. Thank you so much for watching. Always come back. We love you. See you later. Bye.